It disturbs me quite a lot what I see, what people write, and what the media puts out, and how people are trying to describe what they're feeling, because you really can't say anything about it in the way that it makes sense. In this day and age, we're trying to look for a certain salvation, a salvation of that what is horrific or that what is bad in a certain way. And what the world definitely doesn't support is that there are certain ways that salvation works. And it means that when people improve or impact other people, that things go better and that things improve. And I think with the whole story of how famous people impact other people, it's totally blown out of proportion in some way, because if you look at it closely, famous people are not famous people first. They're first just people, first a human being, and then they become famous. And they become famous for whatever reason. You have the Kardashians with their television show. You have Love Island, with love being put on an island. Yes, I'm saying that literally. You have all these means in which we're trying to improve or trying to impact people. And it doesn't really matter if it's a talk show or if it's a reality show or if people are vlogging or whatever not. I do find it important that you understand that you are also impacting people. Even though not many people feel that way or see it that way, you are. Every day, the way you talk to strangers or the way you help people, doesn't matter if they're old or young, you're helping people. We're all here on this planet, even if we're 7 billion. But what I find outrageous, and that's where it is I find to talk about important, is that people find it strange that a person such as Kobe or other people in all these other shows get so much media attention suddenly, or not suddenly. I mean, he did die, so there's of course millions of refugees, or thousands, I'm not sure anymore sometimes, that get attention, but not this type of attention. But at the same time, I feel that if you look at these people specifically, they impact people. And I don't mean they impact a football team or they impact their own family. I really mean that they put a personality out for the people to feel better, to urge them to improve. And I think Kobe is a very good example of this. No matter if he's from a certain basketball team, he is a person that impacted people. And the same goes for all these other celebrities who are out there. On YouTube there is also now people that are improving and impacting people, because I saw with Jimmy was it Jimmy Kim or was it Jimmy Fallon? I think Jimmy Fallon, he put on David Dobrik, I believe his name is. That's a YouTube influencer. So the times are not only changing, but we're also clinging on to, sort of holding on to these people that are important, because we want to aspire to have a legacy like that for ourselves. I don't believe that we're looking to these people because we find them our heroes or whatever not. I think we're looking for inspiration and aspirations in them and trying to reflect them on ourselves in our daily lives. I saw a video last night, which is also sort of the reason that I wanted to record this. I saw a video last night of somebody putting out who filmed who directed the film Hoax. Mark Cernovich, I believe he's called. He has quite a normal channel, and he said that why is it that all these refugees or minorities or small groups are not getting the attention they deserve, and why is it that suddenly this personality Kobe does? And I think it's exactly because of that. I think it's because of the fact that these small minorities and these small groups are not impacting people. I look at YouTube videos, and I literally see people doing vegan stuff or diet stuff or fashion stuff, or it's literally people, as I am doing right now, in front of the camera, um, randomly talking about their clothes and what they're eating. And I'm not talking about any of that at all. I'm talking to what I find is truth for me. And I hope you find something in it which is relevant. And if you do not, that's also fine, because it's not about that. I think everybody needs to have their own opinion and everybody needs to have their own mind, because that's a real struggle in this time, in this age that we live in. We're in 2020. Potentially a new candidate in America can take over. We still have communism in the world. We still have surveillance states run all over the world. And I don't think that Kobe needs to have the amount of media that, of course, he's getting in a certain way. But at the same time, I think he does. Because he aspired, because he's passed now, so he doesn't do anything anymore. But to do better, to come with his girl in a helicopter and go to the game and help the kids with basketball. So that's what I think it's about. It's about the fact that we see that these people are trying to improve something, and that's what matters to us as well. A big example, I think, of the refugee crisis, to turn back to that as a last point, is that there was a good documentary on Netflix called The White Helmets. And these people, white helmets, Syrian people, literally helped take care of medical aid and helped with dogs to find people in the rubble. Let alone that a country has overthrown itself, but the people in that country, even though it has been overthrown, still think of the idea of helping their own people. And I think that's a great inspiration and an aspiration to have. Why don't we just help people? Help get the family through the week. Because in a week from now, nobody's gonna talk about it the way we are talking now. It's just new. I find it horrible that people after an hour already are putting out these videos saying, why are these minorities not? It doesn't matter. We lost somebody, as we've lost so many refugees as well. And we're standing still by it, but in a week from now, as the news works, we're not talking about it anymore, and we don't care about it anymore. And I think that's worse. We're coming in a time where nothing seems to matter anymore in the way it used to. I saw the Jordan Peterson and Joe Rogan podcast, and they discussed something very relevant, actually. Even if you hate Jordan Peterson, that's fine. But they talked about adversity. In this world, we need adversity to get better. And I think the fact that we will only talk about this, or whatever else that will come our way, only for a week, is pretty horrible. Because we're feeding our teenagers also a certain perspective, and a lot of things are getting ignored, like education. Because I think this has a lot to do with education, actually. So yeah, it's Monday, it's rough talk, it's rambling, but it's important, I think. That's what it's about. That it matters what we think, what you think. Alright.